Welcome to In Real Time, where we as Heights Church are inviting you in for real conversations about leading people, organizations, and change in the new normal. We're hoping that our real discussions about our church's journey will help you as you reimagine and rebuild yours. Welcome to In Real Time. I'm Craig Sweeney, and I'm joined by two of my staff members. And yes, you two are part of my favorite group as well. Yes. Yeah, I need to make sure I say that. I got in trouble on another podcast for that.
I'm his favorite.
We would love it if you liked or subscribed, and also hit the bell icon, because that way you can get every podcast as it drops. You won't miss one of them. Well, we've got some exciting content today, and it's our New Year's special.
Let's go.
New Year's special. I love this. This is the New Year's edition. So, but why don't you guys introduce yourselves first before we get started on all that?
My name is Tim. I'm an associate pastor, oversee online church, and also teaching pastor.
Very cool. Very cool.
Pastor Justin, I am our life groups pastor, as well as our young adults and hospitality.
Nice. Very cool. Very cool. And I have to say again that I am way crushing on the Ultra Watch. You are flexing right now with that. Oh, it's killing me. I want one of those so bad. Anyway, so today, what are we talking about?
We are talking about questions that spur the right change.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just change for change, the right change.
That's right. 2023 is a brand new year. And even though the truth is nothing really has changed, it's just another day on the calendar. But in our minds, everything's changed. It's all new. It's all fresh. And so we often will think about new things. And that's a good thing.
Right.
And it feels like a restart. And it can be. And so this is the time of the year that we start thinking about very, very important questions, but we don't always ask the right questions.
That's valid.
And so I want us to have the right questions out there. And this would be an amazing set of questions to sit and to talk through with our teams. Because I know as a senior lead, I need to hear from staff about these questions. And we've asked these questions like a bunch of times, and we always get better when we do it.
Right. That's true.
Yeah. Yeah. So question number one, what do we got?
Well, if you could blow it up and start all over, what would it look like? I mean, that's, I know, and that sounds really extreme.
Yeah.
But it really,
I love
hey,
that.
if we need to blow it up, like, do we need to blow this up? Do, we don't want to have sacred cows to where, we can't change anything because it's so, So this is the first one.
Yeah.
What do we do? And so that's the question.
I think it's a crucial question because blowing things up and change, that's not typically what you think of in churches.
No.
You know, we're about tradition. We do what we do because we've always done it, whether it's effective or not. I hate to say that, but the truth is, it is true. It is true. And so, and I've experienced that. I've lived that. And we have also done that here.
Yeah. Right.
And that's why we have to ask the question, because if we don't ask the question, nothing will change. We're just going to keep doing what we do.
I think there's a point of clarity in the midst of this is we're not talking about blowing up our theology or our faith itself.
Right.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
We're not talking about, hey, let's blow this thing up and just start all over and make our own church out of it. Like, no.
Right.
We hold to the faith. We hold to the truth.
Yes.
We hold to Jesus. We hold to the word.
Oh, yeah.
But we're talking about like systems, processes, programs.
Yes. Schedules, personal schedules.
Yeah, that's the stuff we're talking about.
Meeting
when we ask that question, that's what we talk about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, can we blow up the Bible and start over?
Yeah.
That's not what we're saying.
even budgets and scheduling, right? Because as we look to the 2023 year, we don't do what we did in this last year.
Yeah.
This next year, we don't do it just because we did it.
Yeah,
we're doing it because it's the most effective thing that we can do in this new year. That's why we should be doing it. And if it's not effective, then let's go home, because I'm probably not going to want to be there either.
Yeah.
Right? And so if I don't want to go and I'm the pastor, then why are we doing this event?
Right.
I mean, what's the point of that?
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to be a slave to this whole thing.
Especially just because we've always done it this way.
Right. Exactly. So it's good that we asked the question. So if you could blow it all up, start over, what would it look like? And let's just talk about this from a couple of different angles. So we have our schedules. Do we do this? Do we blow up our schedules? And when I talk about our schedules, I mean, let's talk right now just about your personal weekly schedule.
Yes.
Yes.
All the time.
Yeah.
Well, like I was fortunate to have a sabbatical this year, and coming through sabbatical and into the new positions that I'm in, it required me to kind of blow it all up and reorganize. And, you're used to your old schedule. And so your knee-jerk reaction is going to be wanting to just stay in that comfort zone.
Yeah.
But it was ineffective for what I had to do now.
Yeah.
And so that allowed me to kind of reevaluate, blow it up, shift some things, compact some things, get rid of some things, start new habits.
That's good. Can you give me an example of a couple of those?
Yeah. So, at some point, my new position required me to spend a bigger block of time in certain areas. And so I ended up looking at my schedule and say, okay, I have all these standing meetings, and there were some on Monday, there were some on Tuesday, one on Thursday. And so I just packed them all in. So I just lined them up, and that freed up those times. So I had bigger blocks later in the week. And that's just like one of a few different ones.
Yeah. That's really good.
Yeah. So it's like house cleaning. You just clean it up, because over time it gets a little, you can get a little cluttery. So
Okay, you know what I'm thinking of when you say that? Literally, this was how I started ministry. I was a bivocational for the first 2 years. We were planting a church. Then they said, hey, we want you to do this full time. So I came in, I was student ministries pastor, and I remember sitting in my office day one. I remember I came in, I was there bright and early, 8:30. I sat down in my chair, I arranged things on my desk, and I literally had no idea what to do. There was not one training on what to do with my day, my schedule. They just say, hey, there's a meeting at such and such a time. Make sure you're there. No one ever sat down and showed me how to do my schedule. No one ever told me that. I'm 22 years old at the time. And here's the problem. No one ever did. The only reason I ever figured it out is because I started chasing down other successful people who were talking about their schedules, and I listened. But what if I didn't? I'm just now 30 years into ministry doing what I do. But that doesn't mean it's effective. It's just what I did. And here I am. And so I've got to keep asking this question, because it's the only way I get to better. And believe me, I wasted a lot of time. I really wish somebody would have said, hey, let's talk about your schedule.
Time out, right?
Let me, yes, you start here and you end here, but what are you going to do in between?
Yeah, no doubt.
Have a healthy conversation. Why are we assuming everybody knows what to do?
Yeah.
We shouldn't assume that. It's a great conversation to say, here's what works for me, best practices. You figure it out for yourself as well. And playing with your Ultra watch right there in front of everybody, man.
One of the things I did, one of those things I did
makes me want one
to blow up was make sure I communicate with my admin.
That's good. So that's good. And you're doing it right now.
Doing it right now.
That's awesome. I love that. In real time.
That's
right there. We're not
That's
editing
funny.
that out.
Exactly.
Okay, I love that. So we definitely blow up our schedules. I know that from time to time, and I mean like probably maybe twice a year, I will say, hey, I need to blow up my schedule. And especially coming out of COVID now, the pandemic created all kinds of bad ruts in our schedules with working from home, not working from home, working from both, drive times. It so much wasted time. Truthfully. Even though I'm at home, I've got 2 teenagers at home trying to do school. I am on my back porch. It's either freezing or it's way hot, depending on the season. And it's really ineffective for sermon prep, which is a lot of time for studying for me. I needed to blow things up. And I'm still, even as we've come back 2.5 years into this, I'm still recently looking at my schedule and saying, okay, what am I going to do different? I cannot emphasize enough how important this is. And so blocking out the times that need to be blocked out so I can study, be effective, and making sure that I'm not available to everybody, because that isn't going to help anybody when I'm preaching on Sunday and I didn't have time to really hear God's heart.
A lot of our schedules can be developed by habit. Like you were talking about early on, nobody showed you, so you just kind of stumbled into whatever you did. That became habit.
Right. That's right.
Well, what we know is that not all habits are good.
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
So
That's
reevaluating every 6 months to a year, it helps you go, what wasn't working?
Yeah.
What wasn't working?
Right.
And from there, you can make shifts to become more effective.
That's right.
Because we need to be as effective as we can.
I love listening to schedule hacks from people.
Well,
So
it
really
goes back
good.
to that whole thought of the Pareto principle, and it's what
Yeah.
there's only certain things that only I can do.
Yeah.
Like there's 20% of my schedule that only I can do. Other things can be either.
So let's state the Pareto principle
tell
is
it- tell it what it is.
20% of all of your to-dos are going to yield
80%.
80% of the return in
Right.
production in your schedule and what you do. So
Right.
you want to make sure that 20% is what you spend your time doing, because you can't do everything on your to-dos.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
But we spend a lot of our time doing the bottom 80 because they're the easy ones.
Right. It's the easy stuff to check
Yeah.
off the box. So it feels like
Right.
we're getting stuff accomplished. But at the same time, there's only that 20% usually is the only thing that I can do. Like other people can't do it
Right.
for me.
It's really good.
And so I need to spend my time, and this is where I blow up my schedule. Okay, what are the things that I'm most effective at? What are the things that are most important out of my role in my responsibilities?
Yeah.
So framing my world and my schedule and my time around those things instead of just the bottom to check off the to-do list,
Yeah.
because
good.
it's easy to get stuck in that. Like you said, it's
We need to do an entire podcast on just that.
Yeah.
Doing less, becoming a specialist, not a generalist.
It's valid. Right.
Yeah,
It's good.
Yeah, that's good. It's good. Okay, so when we talk about schedules, we're talking about personal schedules.
Yep.
And obviously, we have staff schedules. There are a few meetings that we have to put in the week, and everybody's got to work around them.
Yep.
And unashamedly, I just want senior leaders to know that schedule works around my schedule first. And
Correct.
it just does, because if I stink on the weekend because I didn't get my studying done, everybody suffers. That's the reality, right?
Yeah, no, it's true.
And we pushed it a couple hours here and there, and we moved it around on a couple of days here and there to make sure that we're all able to accommodate it. But it does work around my schedule first, unashamedly, and I eventually got over that. I felt bad about it early on, but I don't now, because I know that's the most effective thing for the overall.
Well, and you need
church
to be
and
spending
staff.
your time on sermon prep.
I do.
Like,
I do.
that needs
you
to
guys
be-
are definitely wanting me to do that.
We do.
Yeah.
It's not the staff meeting that's so important. It's you writing your message.
Yeah, yeah. So those meetings that we have, we got to make sure that those are done on the right days, but also the right amount of meetings, because we've also cut down on the amount of meetings that
Just
we've
by
had.
meeting.
And that's really important to make sure the right
I mean,
people are
that's
in
what
the
it
right
is.
meetings.
Oh my God, it's so boring.
horrible.
Like,
Yeah.
it's just,
So we go through iterations of meetings all the time, right?
it's true.
Every couple seasons or season, we have to say, is this still effective?
Right.
If it's not, we change it. So I love that. Board meetings, we do the same thing with that. Church gatherings, yes, we should be doing that. Outreach, we should be doing that. If we could blow it all up, start over, what would it look like? Because that's really the right question to keep asking, so we don't get stuck in ruts.
Yeah.
Okay, so another good question. This is great, guys.
This is a good one.
Number two. What is the number 2 question we need to be asking in the new year for New Year planning?
What are we going to stop doing?
Big.
Huge.
Yeah.
Big.
And those have been like major decisions, not like because they're huge sacred cows. Major
Well, some
in
of them are.
Some of them are. And,
You're not wrong.
and when it comes to, if you got a big sacred cow, just prepare for a barbecue.
Yeah.
Prepare that barbecue. We're going to just make the best of it and move on.
true.
And it is what it is. But what I mean by big decisions is also they sometimes yield the best results, the biggest result.
So true.
Sometimes you just got to trim
Yes.
and refit.
Yeah.
And by stopping something opens up this whole other avenue
Yeah.
for you to literally open it up and
So good.
gain ground.
It's really good. Really good. Okay, so when we're talking about stop doing, these are stop doing things that are distractions, that are ineffective. Time and energy output is not worth the return on investment that you're giving to it.
Yeah.
That's just the truth. And one of those things I could just say right away is I don't spend as much time on my messages that I used to. I used to overcook them. I would spend way too much time doing it, and I found that last 5 to 6 hours that I would spend, it wasn't effective. It wasn't effective.
Right.
I didn't need to. I was already there every week, but I just in my own mind I was so insecure about it.
Get it better.
Yeah, and I'm just nope. I have to trust that it's okay. I can do this. I was overcooking it. That's an important thing. But talk to me, guys, about things that you stopped doing that have been helpful to you and had a really, really strong impact on you.
I stopped scheduling my own appointments.
Cute.
Meaning,
it's good.
I would just meet people. Hey, can I meet tomorrow? And I would just, I got an hour here or I got an hour there. I had to, again, when I blew up my schedule and kind of reorganized, I would do meetings on these days. And I don't even schedule those anymore. I refer them to my my admin assistant.
That's right.
And they make sure hey, here's what he has available. Because if not, you'll say yes to everything and everyone.
You will.
And then you won't have any time to get the things done that you need to get done.
Yeah.
So I stopped doing that. I stopped messing with my calendar.
And to be clear, you don't have a full-time assistant either, right? Because a lot of people don't have full-time assistants. And so you got a part-time assistant. And in fact, you are sharing this assistant.
We literally share the same
number.
We have the same admin.
There's 3 or 4 people actually that are sharing this person.
John.
Oh, John.
Yeah.
Bronson,
Okay.
you,
so
me.
yeah. So I just want to be
Cheryl,
clear.
not
It's
John.
not like there's somebody just waiting for. Okay, what's the next thing Tim's going to tell me all day long? It's like
no.
But you can still have her doing that for you.
Yeah.
So that's
and
important.
We did. And coming out of sabbatical again, I sat down with Lori and said, okay, what are the top 3 things that are going to help you observe? They're going to help me be most effective.
Yeah.
Those are the 3, 4 things I'm going to give you.
Good. Yeah.
So I don't, it doesn't have everything, but there were these 3, 4 things.
Yeah.
So
scheduling your own appointments was one of them. I know that was something for me as well. Another one for me was I don't go through my own emails. Now that doesn't mean I don't ever check them, because I do, but I'm not checking them because I'm so concerned that something urgent came in and I won't see it.
Yeah.
And if I don't check it for a day or 2, I'm not worried about it.
Right.
My assistant does check them, and she actually knows, hey, this looks a little private. I'm not gonna go for that one. But she lets me know it's there, and she lets me know if there's something urgent sitting there. She's really great and very trustworthy. But yeah, she goes through my emails, and then when we meet, we'll meet and connect once a day. And when we do, she'll say, hey, there's 3 emails, they're flagged. You'll want to pay attention to those. Or you got nothing, you're good to go. It's wonderful.
it is.
Huge time saver for me.
Yep.
Very effective. And I'm not distracted when I'm studying, worrying, what am I missing? So that's good. What about you, Justin? Anything that you stopped doing?
I literally put my phone behind me on the table so that it's not even within hand's reach half the time.
Yeah.
Because again, it's almost a compulsive thing sometimes just to pick it up and look at it.
Yeah. I'm with you.
So I put it, especially when there are things, okay, this is focus time. I cannot have it within arm's reach.
Yeah.
Because I'll get distracted, pick it up. Next thing I know, I'm somewhere else. I'm like, oh, come on. Especially during like life group notes time, when I'm writing the studies.
Yeah.
I've got to have the focus time because I have a window to get that done in.
Yeah. It's good.
And mine is dependent upon you. And so.
Yeah, you're waiting on me to get my stuff done so I can give it to you.
Right. And then we have a team waiting for mine stuff. So there's this chain that happens. So for me, the distractions are, let's clear the deck, get rid of the phone, at least move it in the other side of the room so you don't just automatically grab it out of habit.
That's good.
The other one is this is a big one for me. I stopped listening to voices that really I should not have given the authority to have a power in my life.
Yeah.
So the distraction of the negativity, the frustration, whatever it was, there are certain voices I don't allow in my life anymore.
They're no longer counselors.
Yeah, not that they're not. I don't have accountability. That's not what I mean. Because I do. I have absolutely.
You have other voices. You just make a choice for them.
I just chose differently. Who I would and who I wouldn't give those things to.
Good. Yeah.
Because that for me was, their opinion weighed too much.
Yeah.
And so it was very distracting because I was constantly thinking about it, and I was spending too much time and energy there.
And maybe their motives were not correct. They weren't coming from a good place.
Right. And I don't want to judge that. I just know that their counsel wasn't necessarily good.
Yeah.
And so you're just going to be smart about that.
That's
So
good. That's good.
That was a big one for me. I had to stop doing that.
That's good.
Those 2 little shifts, I know they seem small, but they were huge for me.
Yeah.
Just moving the phone and saying no to people.
So I'm marking off a couple of these. I know I wanted to share as well. I stopped giving out my phone number because in COVID, I realized it's not good that 1,000+ people have my phone number. I don't want texts at 12 and 1 in the morning that you're mad at me about my social media feed.
Which
it's
happened.
not on there.
Which happened.
Which literally happened.
Yeah.
And I just said, nope, done. Changed it the next day, the last time that happened. And just like, no, everybody doesn't need to have my phone number.
Right.
Do you know what it says on my phone, Craig? Private cell, do not give out.
Yeah.
Not a joke.
Thank
Literally
you.
says that in my phone. It's
Thank
really
you.
funny. It's a reminder for me.
Keeping me sane.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's important.
Yep.
You know, I don't know why in the world, but a lot of pastors from the senior level, we feel like we have to have every key to every door in the building. I don't know why. It's like that's a heavy weight to bear every day.
I've seen
carrying that around, and then we feel like we have to be available to everybody. We don't.
Nope.
And
That's
guess
why you
what?
have us.
Right.
People never get mad at me. I mean, like never get mad at me that they can't reach me at 7 o'clock at night.
Right.
Like, oh, you don't give your phone number. I'm mad at you. It's like, no, I just let them know. You know what? I can't, and they understand. They really do. They really do get it. And I'm like, hey, I'm available tomorrow. No problem.
It's just healthy boundaries.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. So that's important. Anything else you guys stop doing?
I don't take calls after 9 unless it's an emergency.
That's because you're sleeping.
That's good.
True, but I don't. I mean,
good.
like,
No, I'm not texting Justin.
yeah,
It's
it's just,
8:30.
but you guys know, that's what's funny is you know that about me,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you know, I'm like, I'm not going to answer unless the building is burning down or it's our security company calling to tell me that the alarm's gone off. I'll answer those phone calls.
You'll answer those phone calls.
Yeah,
That's good.
I know,
That's good.
but still, I don't answer the phone after.
All right, one other just kind of a schedule time hack is I don't take lunches, but that's not anything I care about with other people. I just personally don't do it because I gain back 4 hours in my week. I get a whole half a day back, and I like that. And it's part of my green zone where I really still effective and creative during my lunchtime. So I just like to work right through it. No big deal.
So you mentioned the green zone. Are we going to talk about that right now?
Let's do that with question number 3.
Because people are going to go, what?
Question number 3. The green zone is a part of this one. What are we going to start doing?
Yeah.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode. And if you liked this episode, please hit like, subscribe, and the bell notification because that way you won't miss an episode when it drops. And please feel free to share this with a friend if you think it could be helpful for them. Next time, we will do part 2 of our conversation.